So I decided to go ahead and make a video where I show you every single sale that I got over the weekend. So that's what this video is. Enjoy. Today we have 64 items going out. Let's get it all packed up and shipped out. This first item is a Nikon camera case. It didn't sell for a ton of money, but whenever I pick up cameras and they have a OEM case, usually I just sell the case separately. Then I got this Funko Pop here. This is a Michael Myers. I'm still amazed people buy Funko Pops. Now a lot of people want to ship those out in the Funko protective cases. I don't have any of those, and this is not a very high value Funko Pop, so I'm just going to wrap it in cardboard and stick it in a poly bag. Next we got these Garmin chronographs. This was part of a pretty big deal I did recently. They're selling for about $430 a piece. Definitely a lot of value there. This is where the majority of my week's sales is coming from this week at least. Because these are in the original retail packaging and they're not a collectible, I'm just going to wrap them in 1 to 2 layers of bubble wrap and then put them in a poly bag. That will provide enough protective material for them to arrive safely to the customer. Now if they were a collectible item, a collectible action figure in the original box, I would probably ship them in another box just to make sure that that doesn't get scratched or banged up at all. But because these are a tool, it doesn't matter too much. Gotta get more labels for my printer there. I sell a lot of digital cameras on eBay, and this particular Canon model normally only sells for like 30 to 40 bucks, but because it's the orange color, it's sold for a lot more. I sell a lot of these wrestling action figures. They normally don't sell for a ton of money, but they are super easy to list, store, and ship. I'm going to use this box to hold all the packages that I'm going to take to the post office. I sold another one of these lineman gloves. I purchased a bunch of these a couple months ago. They're selling pretty consistently. Super easy to ship. I picked up a bunch of these military model kits a while ago. I probably won't pick them up again. They don't sell for a ton of money. And they don't sell very fast either. These were part of a bulk buy I did. I didn't really know they were even in there. It's a small lot of these Yeti bottle caps. Not a super exciting sale, but hey, 15 bucks is 15 bucks. I'm sure you guys know the price of computer RAM is skyrocketed recently. This RAM, however, is like 15 to 20 years old, and the only reason why it sold for 50 bucks is because it's still sealed in the original package. People like to buy these to make old gaming PCs. Couple of loose game discs here. Not a ton of money, but really easy to store, list, and ship. So when it comes to video games, I don't really seek them out. I only buy them to resell them if it's a huge bulk deal or if there's zero competition around me. Just because at the flea market or yard sales, every other reseller is looking for video games, and I just find there's a lot more items with a lot higher value that other resellers don't go for. So I let them pick up the video games, and I'll take up the $150 camera sitting right next to them. But these were part of a bulk deal I did, so I listed them. I used to buy a lot of VHS, but I'm starting to dial back on that market. It's come down quite a bit. These Sirius XM radios, sometimes they're really expensive, especially if they have a lifetime subscription tied to them. This one was nothing too special, so it only sold for 25 bucks. It does not need a box because it's in the original retail packaging. It's not a collectible, so I'm just going to wrap it in bubble wrap and put it in a poly mailer. This Dymo embossing wheel, I didn't even know it was worth the money until I looked it up recently, so I went ahead and listed it. I'm glad I did because it sold really fast too. Wrestling figure and accessories sell by themselves sometimes, and that's sold for as much as a figure all by itself. These salt and pepper shakers were part of a lot that I purchased last summer, so I purchased like 150 sets of salt and pepper shakers. None of them were worth hardly anything, so I will not be buying them again. They are selling extremely slow too. It might be something good for like an antique booth, which I don't have, I only sell on eBay, just not for me. I'll list CDs in lots like this, but I try and stay away from listing them and selling them individually, because they don't sell for a ton of money by themselves. A very overlooked item at the flea market is OEM power adapters. They don't sell for a ton of money, but they usually sell pretty fast, and they're extremely easy to ship. I purchased a bunch of these lighting valves a while ago. I thought they were worth a lot more money at the time, but this is the only one out of that lot that I've sold so far. But thankfully, I did not spend a ton of money on them. Most of the time, Kodak digital cameras are not worth a ton of money, so I was surprised that this one even sold for $35. I thought it'd sell for like 20 bucks or less. This is just a miscellaneous lot of toy BMX bike parts. There might be some more value in there than what I listed it for, but I'm not going to go through each part and look them up individually. I've probably paid $1 for all these parts together. So when it comes to stuff like that, normally I just list it in a lot just to get it sold and not have it sit in my store forever. Now, Disney Pixar cars, some of them can be worth a good bit of money. This one sold for 15 bucks all by itself. I sell a lot of remote controls as long as they are OEM remote controls. Roku ones are always sell for around $10, and I can usually pick them up for like 25 to 50 cents at the flea market. These little tape recorders used to be worth a lot more money. I recently purchased these 3 in a bulk buy. I thought they used to sell for like 50 to 60 bucks a piece. So as you can see, they've come down quite a bit on price, but they all sold pretty fast, and they're really easy to list and ship. Here's another Kodak camera that surprisingly is worth more than 20 bucks. It's a little bit higher end though, so I'm going to add some cardboard to the package to protect it better. Here's another set of Pixar cars. If they're brand new like this, they're usually worth listing individually. Now, I don't have a box that's the right size for these, so I'm going to wrap it in bubble wrap and then wrap some cardboard around it and then put it in a poly mailer bag. I've shipped a lot of collectibles like this and never had an issue. It takes a little bit more time than having the right size box. All that matters is that the item arrives safely to the customer. Believe it or not, people are buying Department 56 Christmas stuff this time of year. These 2 sets don't sell for a ton of money, but for how small they are and easy to ship, I'm okay selling them for like 15 bucks. Just drop the memory card back there. You all can enjoy the view. I sell a lot of these proprietary memory cards. Usually they sell for around 10 bucks. Caffeine break, here we go. I don't remember why I bought these originally, but I probably paid like $1 for them maybe. This light control was part of a bulk buy I did at an old electrician's hoarder's house. I sold most of that stuff already. Here's another Department 56 thing. It still amazes me that this stuff sells in the spring. Another cheap VHS. And another cheap disc-only video game. I purchased a huge box full of these Rio fish pond devices. I originally had probably like 200 of them, and I've been selling them pretty consistently for about a year now for about $15 with free shipping. This is one of the few things I do free shipping on, only because it's multi-quantity and weighs less than 4 ounces. I usually sell 2 to 5 of them every single week. I don't remember where I got this action figure from, but I was pretty surprised how much it sells for. I wrapped it up in bubble wrap and decided that was enough packaging material. Even though it's got pretty sharp edges to it, I didn't feel any of them poking through, so we're just going to ship it like this. Monster High dolls sell really well on eBay, and even the accessories can sell by themselves. Here is another digital camera. It's a Fujifilm, nothing too special. Whenever they have rechargeable batteries, I usually try to buy new generic rechargeable batteries and charger, just so the customer doesn't have any problems with the original battery going bad. Those battery bundles cost about $15 on Amazon. Now to ship some of the bigger stuff, I'm going to use some boxes for most of this stuff here. These Sony camcorders, I'm always amazed how much they sell for. It's absolutely incredible. I can usually find these at the flea market for $5 to $10. You just need to make sure to test them before you list them. I think I paid $5 for this doll at a yard sale last year, and I definitely overpaid for it. I thought it would sell for about $25 to $30. Clearly I was wrong, and it took a while to sell too. I could have sold these X-Files figures by themselves, but I saw them selling a lot faster if you divided them up. So that's what I did with these ones. So you notice this box has one of those battery stickers on the side. I always make sure to cover those up if the item I'm shipping doesn't have batteries in it. The post office employee said it would ship faster if I did that. So this line of Monster High accessories I didn't really want to part out individually. I just didn't feel like researching each individual piece, but for 20 bucks, I'm happy with it. From my experience, pretty much any of these clear electronic devices sell pretty well on eBay. I just think they're really cool, so I always pick them up if they're cheap enough for sure. I am definitely going to have to cut this box down though, it is way too long. Now it would have been faster if I just shipped it without resizing it, but it probably would have cost a little bit more, so that's why I cut it down. I cover up that battery sticker again. I don't sell too many Blu-rays if they're just by themselves, but if it's a collection like this, they're usually worth about 20 bucks or more. Easy to list, easy to ship. And the last thing I'm shipping today is this cassette deck player. These usually have a pretty good sell-through rate, and they usually sell for a good bit of money. You just want to make sure that they actually work, as they have rubber belts that sometimes go bad. They kind of decompose inside the unit if it's been stored in a hot or humid environment. This one worked flawlessly though.